So when I was 18, I had a horse called Bunny Chair. Yeah, that's right, her name was Bunny Chair. She was a 2-year-old filly. She was a really good horse. I'd had her and started her. She was one of my first horses to start. And up to this point, you know, most of the things I've been doing was roping, a couple colts to start, and some different things like that. So I was still pretty green at the whole horse training thing. So to back up a little bit and make a long story longer, previous to this, probably 2 weeks prior to this event happening that I'm talking about, I'd actually got a hairline fracture in my hand, which was caused from another horse training incident. So, and I will admit, I was not the best horse trainer to start with. I think most would probably tell you the same thing. So I was pretty short fused, and I would get frustrated a lot if horses didn't understand a concept. So one horse that I was training, I had actually smacked the horse and fractured my hand from hitting the horse in the head. Yeah, so that was pretty bad. The horse wasn't hurt, I can tell you that right now. It was probably laughing on the inside, actually. Stupid decision on my part, and I haven't done that since then, thank goodness. But you would have thought that I would have learned from that. But going back to the story with Bunny Chair, so Bunny Chair had probably had about, I'd say maybe 3 weeks riding at this point. So it was a morning and it was cold. There was a storm coming in, and I didn't really have a whole lot of time to work Bunny Chair. So I kind of rushed things in preparing, and I didn't really take my time with her like I normally do, because normally I have no issues riding her, you know, putting on those rides. She was really good. So I rushed it, only lunged her just a little bit, not near enough. I think it was like a Monday or a Tuesday, so she was still pretty fresh. But then I got on her, and to my surprise, she started humping up and kind of tippy-toeing around like she was fixing a buck. And me being 18, I thought that I was a bronc rider at that point, and I kind of took a hold of her and kicked her in the belly and was like, "Here, I'm gonna teach you to do that." And that just brought on a bigger problem. So Bunny Chair then started bucking quite a bit harder. You know, and at this point, this was 2 weeks past my incidents with the other horse where I had a hairline fracture in my hand. So I actually had a cast on during this whole ordeal. My doctor would probably not approve of that, and I don't recommend doing that. But I had to get this horse rode. So I'm up here, up in the saddle, holding on to the saddle horn with a broken hand and trying to pull this horse that's bucking around with my off hand and kicking it in the belly because I'm arrogant and think that I can, you know, kick it out of her or whatever. So you can kind of imagine how that ended. I ended up on the fence. I got bucked off straight on the fence, and my cast, when I landed, the edge of my cast hit the panels, and as I slid down the panels to the ground, my cast popped right off my arm. So I'm sitting there in the dirt with my cast on the other side of the fence. My face is full of mud. I've got sand in my teeth. And at that point is probably when I decided to switch up training methods a little bit. Okay, and when it comes to your mindset when you're working horses, you have to take a different approach, and you have to be really slow and methodical about things. If you don't have time to work with a horse, just leave them out in the pasture. Okay, because or don't even get a horse to begin with, because they are a huge time commitment, and you need to make sure that you allow yourself enough time to work with those horses. But one of the biggest takeaways that I got from that, I didn't learn from breaking my hand apparently. I had to get bucked off and thrown into the fence to actually learn my lesson. But one of the biggest takeaways was, when you deal with an issue with a horse or with people, you need to really step back, slow things down, and try to understand what the best solution or the best method there is to approaching a problem, or basically setting yourself up for success. What is the best way or the best thing you can do going into a situation to prepare yourself to take care of things the right way. There's been plenty of situations with horses where I didn't do things right, mainly because I didn't prepare right. So, and when it comes to showing horses, it's the same thing. I heard a deal just the other day that someone said horse shows aren't won in the show pen, they're won outside of the show pen at home. Okay, so all your preparation is what you're going to get later on, or what you achieve will depend on that preparation that you put into it. So, and this crosses over with people too, and a lot of times with horse training, it always does. So if you're managing people or managing a group of people or whatever it may be, you know, approaching things the way that I did with Bunny Chair would not be the best thing to do. Okay, going into it arrogant, you know, basically telling people I know what to do, I know how to do things, I'm not listening to anybody else, will get you less results and less desired results in the end. Okay, so if you prepare yourself more and approach things with a calmer, slower attitude, and use your brain and not your emotion to deal with problems, then you're going to be a lot better off. So here in a second we're going to get on T, and I'm going to get on her a little fresh, and this whole video is about how to prepare your horse before getting on and avoid situations like this. But we all know that we've either had a situation where we got on a horse that wasn't prepared, or something unexpected happened. So I'm going to show you what to do with this horse here, and how to deal with a problem like humping up, or a horse grabbing itself and trying to act belligerent, basically, and the right way to handle that, rather than getting mad and pulling the horse around or kicking the horse on the belly, because it all boils down to, you know, you need to show that horse what they need to do rather than trying to force the issue. Okay, and it's the same way with people. So if you're managing people, or if you're training horses, all the concepts are the exact same. So I'm not going to cover a whole lot of brokenness things and drills and stuff like that, because one of the main problems that I see more than anything is mind training, and teaching that horse how to be a compliant individual, or get that horse to try for me and not me forcing that horse to do things that I want to do. Okay, and when it comes to managing people, which I'm still learning how to do, it's the exact same approach. Okay, you can't force the issue. So I hope that helps.